Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this short video, I'll be explaining the difference between JWT.verify and JWT.decode. Of course, this is something you'd find in the documentation, but I find people using this wrongly in their application, so I'm going to explain that. So firstly, let me create a token, and I have this secret here. And inside the token, the only payload I'll be having is an email, dillion@gmail.com. So let me log this, and over here I'll just run it with node, and this is the token here. I'm going to copy this, and back here I'm just going to replace this with the token. Now, just as we know JWTs, let me zoom out so we can see everything. I'm going to zoom in back in a few seconds. So just as we know JWT in tokens, we have three sections. We have the first section before the full stop, the second section before the full stop, and the third section. This first section is the header, this second section is the payload, and this third section is the signature. Now, going back to JWT.decoded, okay, I'm going to do it like this. When you have JWT.decode and you put the token here, this is only going to decode the payload, which is the section at the middle. It does not check if the key is valid or if the key is invalid, and we can check that by logging decoded node index.js. And you can see I have decoded email dillion@gmail.com and then other payload properties provided by JWT. Now, for example, if a user logs into an application and in your source code you are only verifying that user if that user is authenticated using the decoded method, your site becomes vulnerable to hackers because you are not making use of the secret, and this way they can use any user's password or their own generated passwords and have access to resources that are supposed to be private. But on the other hand, when you use verify, you use JWT.verify, you don't only pass the token, but you pass a second argument, which is the secret. And I can log this too. So if this token is verified, we'll get the payload properties, and if it is not verified, we'll get an error. So for now, since the secret is still intact, let's see what we get. So I'll run this again, and then I have decoded to be this and I have verified to be this. But say I go back now and I change this secret to something else. Going back here, see there is an error, which is the invalid signature. The verify method does not only decrypt the payload, but it also makes use of the header, the payload, and most importantly the signature, which was generated using the secret. So like I said, I find this in applications where people are trying to verify if a user is authenticated using the decode method, but the decode method only breaks down the payload. What you're supposed to be using is a verify method. So if you find this video helpful, kindly like, kindly subscribe, and then kindly share.